Okay, it's time to go over the next spell sword subclass, and this one lets you have a blink dog, which is a lot of fun. So let's go over it 1 to 12, all the items and a combat tutorial, and let's jump straight in. Now, with the spell sword, you can do spell forged armor. This means you can use your eldritch points to conform light and medium armor to your body. Medium armor will use your intelligence as like the AC calculation instead of dexterity. And with light armor, it does the same thing, but you add half your spellcasting modifier rounded down. You can also weapon bond, so this is similar to your eldritch invocations with the warlock, and you can bond your weapon to your hand. You can also throw this and it will return back to you. You gain an arcane armory, which is what we just spoke about. Calculated coercion, so you can use your intelligence for your charisma when coming to intimidation rolls. You also gain Eldritch Inspiration, so you have a reservoir of magic energy that you use to produce a number of magical effects, represented by Eldritch points. You have to use Arcane Fervor to generate Eldritch point reductions. And then there's Close Cantrips. When active, enhances your non-melee cantrips when they are cast within 5 feet. You ignore disadvantage for close range cantrips and add your spellcasting modifier to the damage rolls. You also leave a volatile sign behind. Now when it comes to cantrips, we're going to take Firebolt, we're going to take a Ray of Frost, and we're going to take Shocking Grasp. Gives us 2 ranged spells, 1 melee, and we gain 3 different damage types. Now obviously having close cantrips doesn't really matter with the ranged and close up, but I do like the spread of damage types. When it comes to your ability points, we're going to have 8 strength, 16 dexterity, 14 constitution, 16 intelligence, 10 wisdom, and 10 charisma. And then for your proficiencies, take whatever you feel like you need for your playthrough. Spell Sword level 2 gives you some first level spell slots and Arcane Strike. So Arcane Strike, enhance a bonded weapon by channeling a damaging cantrip onto it. On its next hit, the normal cantrip damage and effects will be added to the weapon damage. Now you can only do this on a bonded weapon, so please bear that in mind. We gain spells now, so the first one we're going to take is Shield, nice reactionary spell, so we can use this to avoid taking damage by increasing our armor class by 5. We're also going to take Thunderwave because I love this spell, great for pushing enemies off of ledges, beams, balconies, and it's a quick way to just end fights. And then when it comes to a fighting style, we are going to take the Arcane Warrior. Essentially, if you're only using a one-handed weapon in one hand and it has to be light, then you can use your offhand, do a cantrip on the same turn. Spell Sword level 3, Blink Tactics. Now, we get this, thanks, as I press the wrong button, to the spell sword itself. The rest of this is from the next subclass, but this isn't what we're going to be taking. But with Blink Tactics, we're able to harness energy to fuel teleportation. Anytime you cast a spell or consume a spell slot, you gain Ethereal Pure. Now if we go to this, you can teleport 15 feet into any different direction. Now we gain one more spell, so for this one we are going to take the Armor of Agathis. Great spell to add temporary hit points, and if you get hit by a melee attacker, they'll take the equivalent cold damage. Now for your subclass, we're going to take the Blink-Bonded. This is what will give you the amazing Blink Dog. Now the Blink Dog yet pack tactics. So the creature has advantage on attack rolls against a target if one of its allies is within 3 meters and isn't incapacitated. We also can do the Blink Dog, and the Blink Dog can blink, teleporting up to 30 feet away and gain a +1 bonus to its next attack roll. Ethereal Evasion, so when an ally within 10 feet is attacked, you can grant them a +5 bonus to AC and impose disadvantage on the attack by teleporting them to a spot adjacent to their attacker, which is awesome. We get Fey Magic, so we've learned all this, and you can see a whole list of stuff you get here. Now this mod does go to level 20, this build doesn't however. We gain Speak of Animals as a spell, and Hail of Thorns with a melee weapon or a ranged weapon. Hail of Thorns is really cool. Essentially, you deal damage and then you cause an explosion, and the explosion itself can deal an additional 1 to 10 piercing damage, up to 3 creatures in the surrounding area. It's a lot of fun. And as you can see, if it's active, an Arcane Strike will apply to all of them, so I'll show you this as well. Spell Sword level 4, get Eldritch points, we gain 1 of those. Now we gain another cantrip at this point, so for this one we're going to take Bone Chill, let's add that necrotic damage to our repertoire. And then we gain a spell, so for this one we are going to come sort of down here and we'll take something like Ray of Sickness, just to add some poison damage. And then for your feet we're going to take our intelligence all the way up to 20. Spell Sword level 5 will bring you Sigil Stalker. So you learn the Eldritch Marks button, always have it prepared. You may cast it for free, 3 times per day. Now, this is really cool because you can basically place this on an enemy, and then if you attack them, you'll detonate the mark, dealing 1d8 in force damage, and you'll do it in a huge 10-foot radius, so you can actually damage more people. It's a really cool sort of like AoE you can place, and it's a bonus action. Now we're going to do a bound weapon enchantment, so magically enhance a bonded weapon with the light, finesse, or thrown properties. Only one property can be applied at a time. Eldritch Mark, obviously we just went over that. And then the Blink Dog gets some more bonuses, so we can do Blink Dog Piercing Bite. Bite an opponent and potentially inflict gaping wounds upon the target. You can also do Marked Prey, so your attacks will trigger Eldritch Mark effects on enemies marked by a spell sword. Of successful attacks, you may use your Bite attack as a bonus action for the next 2 turns, so you can synergize your characters together. There's also Bond of the Pack, so the bond between you and your Blink Dog grows stronger. The proficiency bonus is added to its armor class and damage rolls. As a bonus action, you may also consume Eldritch points and convert them into packed magic points for your Blink Dog, as long as it's within 60 feet. And obviously, the conversion itself. Now we also gain Lesser Restoration and Spike Growth as spells. And then we gain one more spell, so we're going to take Mirror Image. Spell Sword level 6 brings Martial Magic. You can make a standard attack and cast a cantrip when taking your action. This ability does not stack with any sources of extra attack. Spell Sword level 7 gains Blade Dash. Throw your bonded weapon and teleport to immediately or after confirmation of a hit. You gain the effects of the Blur spell for 2 turns. So again, you can deal damage, teleport, and gain Blur. Lots you can do in one maneuver. And then the Blink Dog has a Disarming Bite. So that says everything, right? If the enemy is unarmed, the attack's damage increases to 2d4 damage, but you can make them drop their main weapon. We get another cantrip, so for this one, let's take Poison Spray. And then it's time to pick another spell, so for this one we're going to take Hold Person, because if we can land this, it's a nice way of just maintaining battlefield control. Spell Sword level 8 gets you another Eldritch point. We also gain one more spell, so let's take Scorching Ray for this one. And then for ability improvement, we're going to take Intelligence all the way to 20. Spell Sword level 9, we get Conjure Barrage, so channel your weapon's essence into Destructive Widespread Volley. And again, if active, Arcane Strike applies to all hit targets. And Plant Growth, this will quarter enemies' movement speed while walking through it. Now we gain one more spell, so for this one we're going to take the Glyph of Warding. I love using this as like a big bomb you can just place down. Spell Sword level 10, another Eldritch point and Arcane Bite. So when you imbue your weapon with an Arcane Strike cantrip, your Blink Dog's attack is also enhanced with the same effect if it's within 30 meters. So really you just want to keep your Blink Dog near you, and then all your class abilities sort of like tied together really well. We gain another cantrip, so for this one let's just take Light, so we've got a nice utility spell. Spell Sword level 11 brings Arcane Flourish. So using a weapon action infuses your bonded weapon with a fiery blue font of magic, granting you Channeled Throw. This lasts a number of turns equal to 1 plus your character's proficiency bonus. And if we go to Channeled Throw, launch a magically infused ranged attack, either by throwing your bonded weapon or using it to launch a blue flame at enemies. We gain another spell, so for this one we're going to take another concentration spell to try and tie some of our equipment together, and let's just take Cloud of Daggers. Spell Sword level 12 brings Blink Dog Bonded Step. Teleport and swap positions with your Spell Sword companion. If you're both threatening the same enemy, it becomes off-balanced. If that enemy is also flat-footed, they become overwhelmed, making the next hit on it an automatic critical. Then for a spell, we're going to take something like Vampiric Touch. Again, another concentration spell, so it helps tie all our things together. And then we gain a new feat, so for this one, I would take the Alert feat to boost our initiative. Okay, let's go over our equipment. We start with the Mask of Soul Perception. This gives you Soul Perception, getting +2 bonus to attack rolls, initiative rolls, and perception checks. We're going to take the Cindermoth Cloak, so a creature that damages the wearer within 2 meters will receive Burning. We're going to take the Blackguard Greaves to give us Long Strider and Athletics +1. The Armour of Agility. Now, this will give you exotic materials, meaning you add your dex to your armour class. So you can see our armour class is currently 20. Because we're going to bind it to our body, this is actually going to change it to being a using our intelligence, which will put our AC at 22. Now bear in mind, if you have a dex-based character you want to use this on instead, there are other options available for armour, it's just this is my preferred one for this build. We're going to take the Legacy of Masters, so we gain a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls with weapons and a strength saving throw +1. For rings, we got the Burnished Ring, so this will give you Paralysing Ray. Paired with the strange Conduit Ring, so while concentrating on the spell, our weapon attacks deal an additional 1 to 4 psychic damage. For an amulet, we're taking the strange Tendril amulet, so we gain Evard's Black Tentacles, one of my favourite spells in the game. Place this on the ground and enemies get trapped within it. And then for a weapon, we're going to take my favourite scimitar, which is Kerwin's Cauterizer. This deals an additional 1 to 4 fire damage, and on a hit, unless they make their Constitution saving throw, the target will receive burning, tying our cloak and our sword together nicely. Now from this point we have a few things to do. First up, we're going to Spellforge our armour. And there we go. So as I said, this has now used our intelligence, so we now have 22 AC. The next thing to do is we are going to bond our main hand weapon. So if we come here, and there we go, we have now bonded our weapon to our hand, meaning if we were to throw it, for example, if I find the throw action on here, it should be down here somewhere, throw Kerwin's Cauterizer, immediately straight back to us. After that, the next thing to do is we need to summon our lovely Blink Dog, when I can find that on this thing now. Summon Blink Dog, so let's get that going, and this will last until short rest. And there we go, we have our lovely little Blink Dog ready to start helping us in combat. After that, next thing to do, in my opinion, get Armour of Agathis going. I always do it at second level. I try and do it sort of at a mid-range point based on your spell slots, based on your character. So for example, if you have 4th level spell slots, level 2. We have 3rd level spell slots, so level 3. If you only have level 2 spell slots and level 1 spell slots, I always do it at level 1. Basically not as max as I can, but enough that it will still give a nice perk. So let's go find some combat and test this out. Okay, so you can see us and the Blink Dog are top of the turn order, so let's start with our character. Now we're going to start by imbuing our Arcane Strike, and let's imbue this with a Firebolt. There we go. Now because we've imbued it, we can still actually do something on our turn. And you'll see our dog is also imbued. So let's come here and we'll take out this character here, and you'll see a huge amount of damage there. Because of that, we can also follow up, because we have an open offhand, with a damage dealing cantrip. Just like that. And obviously there's other things we can do. We can use our bonus action to flourish. And there you go. So you see the character has burning, the off balance, shocking grasp, and all sorts. And of course there is the dog. So if we were to come here, you'll see we have loads of things. We can do disarming bite, bonded swap, we can do a piercing bite. Let's just do a standard attack. And there you go, you'll see we pumped out an insane 68 damage with the lovely Blink Dog here. And again, we can do Ethereal Evasion because we're near our allies. So they needed a 15 to hit and they rolled a 21. If we do our Ethereal Evasion, there you go, we have teleported them out of the way and they have been safe. Now that works really well, especially with characters like that are trying to do like a sneak attack, because that can be a huge amount of damage to take. And there you just saw the enemy taking some burning damage. And a big miss there on our AC. Okay, you can see we're back to our turn, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get our concentration going to further boost our weapon attacks. And to do this, we are going to throw down, when I can find it, Cloud of Daggers, there we go. We're going to go at second level and we'll just throw it, say, here. There you go. Now, I knew we were going to kill that dude, but I just want to get the concentration going. Because what this also means is we can move up here. And you'll see we have a lovely blue flame on our sword. Now, we can imbue our weapon for next time, ready to go. We can also do our Eldritch Mark. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to place our Eldritch Mark on this this enemy here. Just like that. And then eventually we can come in here and we can start doing some more of our abilities. What we will do is we will imbue our Arcane Strike, and let's do Poison this time. And there we go, and now we're all set up for next turn. Now again with the dog has some really cool things, so let's do a Disarming Bite this time. Now unfortunately they made their save there, so they didn't drop their weapon, but they did take 22 points of damage. And again we can do another Ethereal Evasion. You see they took 9 damage from the Cloud of Daggers. And then we're back to the Blink Dog. So again, let's try and disarm the enemy. And there you go, we got them to drop their weapon. So now they will either have to pick it up and then can't attack, or can just do unarmed strikes. Okay, and we're back to our spellcaster turn, and again, we've got the Eldritch Mark, we have our weapon imbued, so if we pump out some damage, there you go, you see cause damage to them and to the target up here thanks to Eldritch Mark. Now once again we have our spellcasting abilities here, we can throw it if need be, we can also channel our throw, so let's throw our weapon potentially. Or not, let's try and throw, we'll throw the spell. There you go, we'll do this one. And there you go. So really easy ways to sort of finish fights, and that still means we can follow up with another spell here, or imbue our weapon once again. So if we were to imbue our weapon with Frost this time, we can still follow up, and again, if we were to do a Shocking Grasp, there we go. So you can get so many abilities and damage pumped out in this build. You see the enemy took burning damage there thanks to our weapon. Enemy decided to run into our Cloud of Daggers for some random reason, and as you see here the enemy can only use their fists as it throws our poor little pup into the Cloud of Daggers and then runs through it too. The other thing we can do is a lovely piercing bite, so there you go, we get some gaping wounds. Now gaping wounds, for anyone unfamiliar, if we come in here, it means they'll receive an additional 2 piercing damage for 2 turns. And now it's time for us to reapply our Eldritch Mark, so let's put this back on to the enemy down here. Just like that, and if we just come down here slightly, just make sure we've got a good angle. If we were to come here, let's find our bonded throw, and we're going to throw our weapon. And there you go, you see that still benefits from our arcane stack, so we still deal the cold damage on top. And of course, we can follow up with another cantrip, just like that. And because we did our thing, we could blade dash follow up, so we'll teleport to the enemy. And there you go, flat-footed, and now we have blur. So once again, within one turn, we've done like 4 different things. Yes, we've used some Eldritch points, but we're just stacking out so much damage and utility. There you go, another 12 damage on the enemy from being within our concentration. Now we've got an enemy up here that we can't quite get to, so let's blink. And we'll go here. And there you go, we have now closed down the gap and we can still come in here with a piercing bite. Just like that. Of course you can see they've still got the Eldritch Marks if we just do a very basic attack. They took damage, received burning, and then the enemy down here also took the damage. And, I hate the camera angles in this area, we can once again follow up with a cantrip. Which missed somehow. Awesome. What we can do is potentially channel throw, so let's just throw a spell out, and we'll do it on this enemy here. Just like that. So again, 3 attacks in 1 round, and as you can see down the bottom, we didn't use any Eldritch points for half of that. Once again, the enemy took burning. Once again, we can just do a very basic attack, and we'll gain the extra piercing damage, and because our weapon was bonded with a cantrip, the dog benefited from the cantrip because of how close we are. Okay, once again, let's bond, or sorry, not let's bond, let's throw our bonded weapon. So if we do a blade dash teleport, what this means, when it loads, is that we can throw a bonded weapon, and then we'll teleport there again. And you would have seen this earlier, but let's just do it here.
That should work.
And this can be the best way to get close to an enemy, and you would have seen we did some necrotic damage on it too, meaning it still benefited from our like imbued cantrips. So this is a really fun subclass for this build. It's quite balanced. I mean, there are obviously a lot of damage you can do every turn. Having the chance to attack and do a spell every turn is pretty crazy, but the Blink Dog is a lot of fun to have. Again, you can buff it up with your concentration spells. One thing I do want to show you is you see we have 4 Eldritch points, and we've used some of our spell slots. If we were to come in here and short rest, they don't come back. So you do have to pick and choose your moments, so just bear that in mind. But I do hope you've enjoyed this build guide. If you have, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you change, other spells, all that sort of stuff. If you're not ready, please subscribe to the channel for more. I've got more guides for Baldur's Gate, for Path of Exile, Dragon Age, all the fun RPGs you could ever need. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.